Today we're going to have a look at sketching a parabola by factorising. We're going to have a look specifically at two examples, one which is a monic quadratic and then the second one is a non-monic. So slightly different strategies, however overall we're still going to follow the same process in sketching these. So to start with, there's three key pieces of information that we need. One, we need the x-intercepts, if there are any. Two, we'll need the y-intercept. And three, we'll need to know where the vertex is. Okay, so starting at the x-intercepts. Now here we let y equals 0 because along this whole line here, each point on that line is actually having a y coordinate of 0. So that's why we do that. So here I'm going to let y equals 0 and solve for x. So here I can follow my PSF strategy. So my product here is 5. My sum is 6. Factors of 5. Now 5 is a prime number, so it's either 1 and 5 or -1 and -5. But in this case, it's obviously 1 and 5. So here I can factorise this as x plus 1 and x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now in this case here, I will let each of these factors equal 0, so I'll get x plus 1 equals 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. So here x will equal to -1 or x will equal to -5, and they're going to be our x-intercepts. So I'm going to label them straight away. So here and they're about here. Okay, I'll actually label those points in a little bit. Now for the y-intercept, that is when I have an x coordinate of 0, which is anywhere along that line. So here I'm going to let x equal to 0, and then I'm going to solve for y. So I'll have y is equal to 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 5. So in this case here, I'm going to have y being 5. So I'm going to quickly plot that on the graph over here. Okay, so you could sort of see the shape develop a little bit. It's probably going to look like that, but let's find that vertex. Now to find the vertex, there's many ways, and the way I'm going to use in this instance is by finding the axis of symmetry. Now this is actually a part of our quadratic formula, if you remember. I'm just going to show you this very quickly. So it's actually going to be this bit here. Okay, so you should be able to remember that. So just that first bit. So here I've got negative b on 2a. Now in this equation up the top, it's in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now in this equation down here, I need the b and I need c. No, not c. I need a. But in my actual thing, a is 1 and b will be 6. Alright, so let's put those in. So I have x is equal to negative, what did I say my b was? 6 over 2. And I said my a is 1 because there's no coefficient there, so it's actually just 1. So here I'm going to have an x-axis of symmetry at -3, because that's -6 divided by 2. I should sub this value in to the original equation to find the y coordinate. So here I'll have y is equal to -3 all squared plus 6 multiplied by -3 plus 5. So just continuing with this, so I'll get 9, -18 plus 5. So therefore y here would be -9 plus 5, so it'll be -4. So my actual vertex will be -3, -4. And that actually matches what I was thinking before. So I've got this here now. So my x-intercept was -1, so it's going to be exactly in between -5 and -1. Okay, so this is the really tricky bit. So bear with me, I'm just going to try and sketch this. Have a nice curve there. Try and make it symmetrical. okay, because parabolas are symmetrical. Okay, now this line is probably way too straight, okay, but it is the best I can do right now. So we've got, we need to label all these key points. So here we said the y-intercept was 0, positive 5. Here for the x-intercept, I have, this was negative 1 and 0. And for this intercept on the left, I have negative 5 and 0. And for the vertex, I have negative 3 and negative 4. Now after this, I should always label the line y equals x squared plus 6x plus 5. Fantastic. So that's how you do it. So you've got 3 steps: find the x-intercepts, find the y-intercept, and the vertex. Now, in some cases, you could also be asked to sketch the axis of symmetry, where this line here is actually x is equal to negative 3. Alright, so let's have a look at a non-monic example, which I've got here in question B. I've got y equals 2x squared plus x minus 10. Now I'm going to follow the 3 steps again. One, I'm going to start with the x-intercepts, if there are any. Sometimes there's not. So here I'm going to let y equal 0, okay, because along this line, every point along that line has a y coordinate of 0. So here I've got 0 is equal to 2x squared plus x minus 10. I'm actually going to use my cross method here. Okay, so I'm going to go 2 down, nope, yep, 2 down here and 5 up here, with this one being positive and that one being negative. Alright, fantastic. So to factorize this, I get 2x plus 5 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So I'm going to let each factor equal 0, 2x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Solving these, I get x is equal to negative 2 over 5, or negative 5 on 2, sorry, or I get x is equal to 2. These are going to be my x-intercepts. So negative 5 on 2 is actually negative 2.5. So I'm going to plot that point over here, and negative 2, slightly closer to the origin there. My y-intercept, I'm going to let x equal 0, and solve for y. So here I'm going to have y is equal to 2 times 0 squared plus 0 minus 10. So my y-intercept will be 0, negative 10. Okay, so this is not to scale. I'm going to find my vertex now by using my axis of symmetry. So I've got x is negative b onto a, where b in this case here will be positive 1, and then a is 2. So a is 2, b is 1. Subbing those into this, okay, I said b was 1 and a is 2, so that's a negative 1/4. Subbing that into the original, so I'll get y equals negative 1/4 all squared times 2 out the front, plus negative 1/4 minus 10. Okay, so that'll be negative 2 on 16, which will be negative 1 on 8, negative 1/4, but that's also negative 2 on 8, getting a common denominator there, and negative 10. Okay, so that means I'm going to have negative 10 and 3/8. Okay, that's my y coordinate. So therefore I have my vertex at negative 1/4, negative 10 and 3/8. Okay, so that's just below, all right, where I had my actual y-intercept. It's probably just a bit closer there. All right, so let's sketch this now. So if I was going this way, all right, this one's a lot steeper than the other one because it has an a value of positive 2 at the front. Okay, so here I'll have y is equal to 2x squared plus x minus 10. And I'm going to label these points. So I said that was negative, sorry, not negative 2, positive 2, 0. And then here I've got my y-intercept at 0, negative 10, my vertex at negative a quarter, negative 10 and 3/8, and then my other x-intercept is negative 2.5 and 0. And that's it. So that's how you do it. So follow the 3-step process each time. Always try and see if you can do PSF first or use your preferred method. Brilliant.